Is she doing it? Is she live? I think she is live. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I hope you can hear me. I think this thing is on. It says it's on. Well, anyway, welcome to Nevertheless, an Author's Journey, episode 7. I would say week 7, but y'all know I missed some time. I kind of had a birthday, and as you can see, my setup's different. I decided to go live. This is so random, but if you know me, why would you expect anything else? But let's see. So yes, I had a birthday. Phoenix is 45. The final 40. Okay, so yes, she's rocking the final of the 40s. So happy birthday to me, Libra Nation. But anyway, if this is your first time jumping on my page, welcome. I'm Sharonda Jones, author of Nevertheless, Peace in Spite of Pain. Also no longer hostage, but I don't have a copy of that book with me right now. But this is Nevertheless an Author's Journey. It's supposed to have been a 7-week series of me sharing about the book, sharing about my life, sharing what made me write it, this, and that, and the third. So over the course of the last month or so, I've been able to read a couple excerpts from the book, which I enjoyed doing. I really did. So I hope that you'll take an opportunity to go back and look at some of the videos and let me know what you think. So today, what am I going to talk about today on my last and final recording? So anyway, today the topic is enjoy the journey. So where does that come from? So my daughter, I have 3 children. I have a son and 2 daughters. And my youngest daughter used to say when she was young, enjoy the journey. When she said it, she was so cute because you would say goodbye to her and she would say, enjoy your journey. And you would just be like, who are you talking to? Like, she was so cute. Anyway, and it got me thinking, like, ever since she said it, I was just like, you know what? Life is about enjoying the journey. Because you're born, we have 2 givens. You're born, you pass away. 2 givens that you cannot change. What can you influence, affect? Like what do you have control over? That part in between. And that's your journey. And so it got me thinking, and through Nevertheless, 16 chapters of parts of my journey. But there's so much that I didn't put in the book. There's so much that I didn't include in Nevertheless. So, in which, I'm really working towards putting it in book number 3, but we'll see. So, enjoying the journey. What do I mean by enjoying the journey? So, enjoying the journey basically is things are going to happen. Challenges and tribulations are going to come up. A lot of things are going to be outside of your will, outside of your control. But at the end of the day, what you have control over is how you respond to it, how you let it affect you, whether you grow from it, learn from it. All those things you have absolute control over. And that's part of what? Your journey. So what I wanted to just use this time to share about is sharing how my journey and how I've been trying to intentionally enjoy it. Now, there were some times, yes, in Nevertheless and since Nevertheless, that it was very difficult to enjoy the journey. So how Sharonda, how do you enjoy the journey when you don't know where you're going to live? How do you enjoy the journey when you ain't got no money? How do you enjoy the journey when you're hungry? How do you enjoy the journey when the people that promise to love and obey and cherish you walk away? Or when they choose to do things to you that they shouldn't do? How do you enjoy that journey? Now, I'm not a therapist. I'm not a licensed professional mental health. I'm just somebody who's been through it. And all I can do is give you my experience, what I took from it, what I learned from it, in the hopes that it will help you. Okay. So, nevertheless, it's full of situations, circumstances that I went through, from abandonment. I suffered from depression. I just recently met my father. So my father wasn't in my life. I was one of those young girls who grew up without a dad, and, storybook case of that. What happens? You look for love in all the wrong places. Let's see, abandoned a lot by my mom, didn't really have any family to turn to, no one to lean towards, like all of the things, right? Seeking love and affection. Like, if you hugged me tight, then I probably was going to be like attached to you. So I had attachment issues. It was a lot. So, but I just learned to see and recognize how that framed my decisions, right? How I got into relationships with people who were very supportive of me, who were very kind to me, but that didn't necessarily mean that I needed to be in intimate relationships with them. I didn't understand that just because someone was nice to me, someone was giving and kind and supportive, that doesn't necessarily mean that they should be in intimate relationship with me. And so I made what should have been friendships into relationships. I made what should have been friendships into dependent situations, right? So I had to learn how to navigate through some of those decisions. Okay, but how do you enjoy the journey, Sharonda? You still didn't answer the question. How do you enjoy the journey if I'm homeless, if I'm hungry, well, first things first, and this is just, again, my opinion. First things first, you have to forgive yourself. And what I mean by that is, a lot of times I took full responsibility, full guilt for what other people did to me. I took full responsibility, full guilt, full shame for the situations that I was in from other people's actions. So not only did I have to forgive me for making decisions that put me in situations that weren't comfortable, weren't good for me, weren't healthy, I also had to learn to forgive those people who did things to me that they shouldn't have done. Because there's no way you can enjoy any journey if you are walking in unforgiveness. That's number one, but that's also like the hardest one. So recently, the last few years, like I said, I think I mentioned it in the first video, I've went through 2 divorces in 2 years. Who does 2 divorces in 2 years? That'd be me. 2 divorces in 2 years. Yeah, I got out of a 12-year marriage and instantly jumped right into another relationship. Wasn't one of my better decisions, but hey, I got a lot of not good decisions. I wasn't ready. I wasn't healed. I wasn't prepared. I had not grieved through the loss of that 12-year marriage. But honestly, I hadn't grieved the loss of that friendship, because that person was very supportive of me. That person was my ride or die, right? As far as friendship was concerned. If I needed something, I knew I could count on that person. Doesn't necessarily make that a recipe for a marriage, but I longed for that friendship. And after we divorced, we were friends to some degree, and then things happened and we could no longer be friends. So I entered into another relationship and got married, and that turned into an abusive relationship. So yeah, 2 divorces, 2 years, stressful. So I had to learn to forgive myself. I had to learn to forgive myself for what that did to my children. Yeah. Divorcing their dad and breaking up their home, their family, while I had to try to find and navigate what I needed to find and go through, my children were suffering, and there was nothing I could do about it. But the only thing I could do, well, I said there was nothing I could do about them, but I had to get them therapy. But I needed to also make sure that I was preparing myself to be the best mother I could possibly be for them. And that wasn't pretty. I had to apologize. I had to ask for forgiveness. But whether they forgive me or not, I had to forgive myself. So that's number one. You have to forgive yourself. That's the only way that you're going to open yourself up to growth, increase, possibilities, opportunity, and move forward. All right. So step number one, forgiveness. Step number two, you got to think about what you want to do. You got to choose. You got to make a decision. And that's going to take putting in some work, meditating, therapy. You're going to have to make an educated decision. You can't just, oh, well, I want to be rich, but you haven't put no thought into how you're going to plan to do that. You haven't, oh, I want to buy a house, but you haven't filed your taxes in 17 years. It's like, so you have to decide what you want to do. You have to decide what at the end of this journey or in the course of this journey, what do you want to accomplish? What do you want your life to look like? So through through Nevertheless, through my divorces, I had to decide how I wanted to be at the end of it. And how I wanted to be was better at parenting. I wanted to be a better mom. And that meant really, really going internal and trying to decide, why did I think I wasn't a good mom? Why did my children lash out at me? Why did I feel like I wasn't making the best decisions for them? Because I realized that I didn't even know how a mom should be because of the relationship that I had as a child growing up. I could be a better mentor to other people's children, but I didn't know how to be a good mom to my own. I didn't know how to show them love and affection because that terrified me. I grew up with stern discipline. I grew up with switches. I grew up being beaten when I didn't do anything wrong. I grew up being just afraid to speak up, afraid to have a voice. And here I am raising girls who will tell me what they want to tell me. But I would yell. I would lash out. I would be so angry all the time. But I would be so kind to other people's children. I was so afraid, and I was masking my fear in just lashing out, into yelling. If my children, oh my goodness, I was a teacher, for goodness sake, to help my own kids with their homework. And we laugh about it being, Black mom. Your kid says 2, you say, what's 2 + 2? And they say 5, and you just like, ah! But honestly, it's like, that has to come from somewhere else. And we're bringing in some of our own baggage, our trauma residue. That's another term I want to leave you with. We're bringing on our trauma residue that we haven't washed away. Okay, she's throwing out these nuggets. But like mildew, we're bringing in trauma residue that we haven't cleaned, we haven't washed away. And we're basically raising our kids taking a shower in an unclean shower, right? We're raising our kids in an unclean environment because we haven't dealt with the trauma residue. So yeah, but anyway, move not to, bore you with all of that, but I just want to say, make a decision, choose where you want to be, choose how you want to be at the end of this, choose how you want this situation to make you better. This journey that you're in, that you're going through, choose how you want to look, how you want to be at the end of it, and then work towards that. All right. Step number 3. Enjoying the journey. You got to have confidence. You got to build your confidence, that muscle. Let's see. You got to exercise. You got to wake up and say, I got this. I can do this. Again, after my second divorce and my finances were jacked, and I didn't know where I was going to live. I had sold my home. I had sold everything, right? And I was going through a tremendous legal thing, a family matter thing. But at the end, I had to still get up from the floor. I had to get up from prayer. I had to get up and say, God's got me. God's got me. And it's got to be that God confidence. Um, and I'm telling you, no matter what you've done, what you've gone through, that's what you can hold on to. He's got you. He loves you. He will make a way. He will show you the way. He's already prepared a way, right? Um, but you have to just be still in the moment to hear from him. And you have to have confidence that you're going to hear from him. I feel like a lot of times it's easy to say, pray, and, wait for God to tell you. Sometimes you're going to have to stand on, you know what? I know I need a job. A job. Like I needed a job. And I remember, like, right after my divorce, I I just fell to my feet. I wrote a letter to God. And I don't even normally do that, but I wrote a letter and I was just like, I'm at my wits' end. I'm at my end, Lord. I'm at my end. I don't know where to go. I don't believe anyone is here for me. I don't believe I have love to carry me through. I feel alone. Like, I wrote this. This was literally a little over a year ago. I feel alone. I don't know where I'm going to go. I don't know what I'm going to do. Please, God, please help me. And so, did I just sit on the side of the bed and cry and wait? No. I went to Indeed. I went to every job site. I just started filling out job applications. I knew what I wanted to do. I knew where I wanted to go. I didn't even, I applied for stuff that I couldn't even qualify for. Well, I didn't think I qualified for. And I said, God, I'm giving it to you. And I know it just sounds cliche, but I'm telling you, you give it to God, he will provide. But a lot of times we don't believe, we don't have the confidence in ourselves that we are his beloved. And so I got the job of my dreams. Okay. So anyway, that was 3. Number 4, your purpose. Like, why do you want that life that you just planned for? You're standing in confidence for. What are you going to do with it? What are you going to do with it? Is the purpose for this life to go out and be reckless, to go and be resentful, to go and be angry, to go get back? Or is the purpose to uplift the things of God, to walk in love, to walk in humility, to show gratitude? Is it to be great, to be able to share your story with others? Like, what is the purpose? What do you want to do with it? So, purpose. So, the first, forgiveness. The second, decide, choose what you want to do. Number 3, have the confidence that you know God's got you. Number 4, understand the purpose for what you want to do. What is your plan after he's already giving you everything you just prayed for? What are you going to do with it? Right? What is the purpose for it? And the last one, of course, is always give thanks. Always. And like, this is my way of giving thanks. Even during this series, this is a little bit, scary for me. Not scary, but it. Yeah, I'll just leave it at that. But this is my way of saying, God, I know you've given me a message to share. I know that you've brought me through some things that I put myself in. Even with my second divorce, which was my third marriage. And even though it was abusive, even though I was embarrassed to share, I'm grateful to be able to stand here today. I'm grateful to be able to say, I know God got through. I know that my story will touch someone else, will bless someone else. I know that by standing here today, that I am saying to the enemy, you tried it, but you got to be quicker than that. So I just want to remind you that enjoying the journey is not going to always be easy, but you have to be intentional. You have to be intentional in growing. You have to be intentional in trying to get to where you know you need to be. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I hope that it was clear. I hope that you are able to receive something from it. So if you want a copy of Nevertheless, of course, you can go to my website, www.sharondajones.me. It's available on Amazon, of course, all the online book retailers. If you want to connect with me, want to share your story, I would love to hear it. Because if you've just watched 7 videos of me talking, I can at least listen to you. Yeah, but anyway, I have thoroughly enjoyed my time sharing, Nevertheless, an author's journey. It's hard to say goodbye, but I'm not going anywhere. I hope that this helps someone. I hope that someone's able to get something from these 7 videos. And if you have, I would love to hear from you. You know, but either way, I wish everyone well. I don't even know how to turn this off, but I wish everyone well. Let me know what you think, and pick up a copy of Nevertheless.
So Nevertheless is really good because Sharonda is very transparent. She brings you into her life. It's like she holds nothing back.
It's a wonderful story of empowerment. But in order to move forward, you had to let go. And you had to discard some things. You had to forgive. And you had to let go. And so for me, that's a powerful lesson because I know so many angry people because they've never learned to forgive and to walk in the love that's naturally there.